What's good, King Gonda? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. And today, guys, we're talking about Akon. Now, as we know, Akon is a Senegalese-based rapper. And, you know, to me, Akon sucks. I don't really like his music. I never have, but shout out to the brother. I don't even know how he ever got popular. I mean, Akon is trash to me. I'm just being real. But nevertheless, Akon is doing this thing. But what I will say though, where he lacks in musical talent, he definitely has people woke, right? And Akon is doing some amazing things in Senegal. And actually in the process of building his own $6 billion Akon city. I mean, he's doing things with, the solar plants out there, getting people solar. And, he's just doing some really, really great things, right? But recently he was with DJ Vlad. Now, DJ Vlad is very influential in the kind of the interview space, the hip hop space. He's like a culture vulture to most blacks, right? And DJ Vlad gets all these interviews with the Nick Cannons of the world, the Trey D's of the world. Everybody comes to DJ Vlad, and people don't really like that because DJ Vlad is is a European white person with Jewish ancestry. And, he asks very offensive questions to certain people, and all the blacks still go there, right? And again, here's another example of how a non-black person can infiltrate the black space and talk about black issues. Even DJ Vlad was trying to insinuate what blacks should get for reparations, right? And he's a white guy doing this. He's married to a black lady, but this is what happens when we don't take care of our own business, family. We allow people like DJ Vlad to make millions off of our culture. And my man Akon was there. Now, I like what Akon is doing, but as we are in the diaspora, and I believe that Akon is Pan-African, right? Akon made some serious mistakes. And Akon has really been trying to bring African Americans back to Africa. I believe his heart is in the right place. But family, one thing I want to talk to you about is you never talk about our issues to white people or non-black people. You never do that. All right? You never do that. And what Akon did, he made a terrible mistake. He went to the white man talking about his opinions about African Americans. And I will say the same thing about African Americans. You never go to somebody else talking about your African family, talking about the, black British people, talking about, Ugandans and Kenyans, something you just don't do. All right. And Akon made a very controversial remark when he says that, Africa has moved on from the ugly past, right? Unlike Americans. And he says this, quote unquote, in Senegal, we've kind of overcome the thought of slavery. We don't even think about it. The only time we think about it, honestly, is when we're doing tours at Goree Island. Outside of that, people have lived and moved way beyond the slavery concept. Okay. Now he did talk about, this. I think it's just the art of letting the past go and moving towards the future. And I think in the U.S., they have this stigma of just not letting go of the past and blaming the past or every mishap, disappointment. I think as long as you hold on to that past, there's a lot of weight you carry with everywhere you go. It's hard to move forward and move fast when you got a weight on your back. You just gotta let it go. And then he does say that, African Americans need to understand their worth and realize America will never give reparations. They're not sorry. They brainwashed us and stuff like that. And you know what? I honestly believe that he is trying to come at this from the right place. But African Americans are going to be, there are a lot of African Americans upset with Akon Because here we have how some people are going to take it. Akon is another African telling African Americans to get over slavery when, your people sold us into slavery. Okay. And see, this is how the beefs continue between Africans, African Americans, because, African Americans gonna be like, who are you to talk about us? You want us to come back to Africa, but you were in America. We opened the doors for you, and you telling us to get over it when you sold us. And this is how these arguments come about, and it can create more distinction between the two groups. And I just want to say that we need to, and I know what he's saying is, from the right place. And I actually can agree that reparations is a lost art, that certain things that we have to let go, but you can never let slavery go, right? And I'm going to say this because the Jews were dead bad. They don't let it go. They remind their people all the time to let it go. No, you have to always remember, because then you're saying we're gonna let go of the fact that our ancestors were in bondage. No, because the Jews don't do that, and they've used it to their advantage. But what I would say is that we can't let slavery be an excuse. All right, and Akon has to understand that because of his position and him not being an African American, that's going to be offensive to a lot of people, although it's coming from the right place. It would be the same thing as me telling somebody from Senegal that's offensive to them that, hey, you guys should just let it go. Some people will be like, well, who are you to tell me that, right? And we got to understand that while we are the same people, that we do have limitations as to what we can talk about with each other sometimes, okay? And certain lines we can't cross. And that's something that I've noticed since I've been in Uganda. There are certain situations that I have ideas about, like when it comes to, how certain countries are ran and what's holding the country back, and certain things I see that should be done differently. And I don't want to criticize anybody, but I just keep certain things to myself, because I know that if I touch it from any perspective, it's going to be offensive, and it's going to look like I'm trying to chastise somebody, because it's a very sensitive thing. So sometimes it's best not to say anything, especially going on to DJ Vlad and saying that. You just don't talk about your issues or your opinions with blacks with people who don't care about black folks. DJ Vlad doesn't care about black people. You take your issues and talk to black people about black issues. And we have to be very cautious with how we phrase things. We just do. When I'm dealing with the Kingana content and even my Dear African American playlist, a lot of people are offended because it's the Dear African American playlist. It's not that I'm saying anything about Africans. It's the fact that, oh my God, you are leaving us out of the conversation. And before I started doing that playlist, I wasn't getting anybody watching the channel, right? But now that we have people watching the channel, people are going to be like, well, you're leaving other people out, other diaspora. And now I have to be very careful that people don't get offended, even though I don't mean it that way, right? People will get offended even if you don't mean to. And I don't think that Akon was trying to be offensive. I just think that the brother made a mistake, and he means well. And we got to also understand that a lot of people in the African community, even though they may have criticisms, it doesn't mean that it's coming from a place of paternalism. Sometimes people have their criticisms of African Americans or vice versa, and they mean it for us to do well. What he's trying to say is, you're not going to get it in America. Come back to Africa and you have a better shot. And I think that's what he's trying to say. But some people obviously are not going to see it that way. And like I said, I appreciate what the brother's doing on the continent. I know that what he's doing is not easy. Doing anything on the continent is usually very, very difficult. And I'm nowhere on the level of what he's trying to do. I'm just trying to do very minimal things. So I just want to say that. Peace to the family, guys. What do you guys think about this? Guys in the comment section, try to be respectful of each other. We don't need to be having African Americans and Africans fighting in the comment section. If it gets like that, I will ban any guilty party. I will not allow that on this channel. I like the community that's being built around the content here, and we're going to keep it at that. But guys, subscribe at the bell. Shout out to all of the family supporting Kinganda. Check us out on Twitter at Kinganda Nation, Facebook at Kinganda Nation, Instagram at Kinganda Nation. And always remember, keep it real, Kinganda forever. I'm out.